A very short kirtan followed by the class. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vraj Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraj Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanchari Yamuna Tira Vanchari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Nitai Gaur Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gaur Hari Bo जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय पतित पावन गुरु महाराज की जय हरे कृष्णा ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.18.50, and this is also the concluding shloka for the chapter number 18. The name of the chapter number 18 is Maharaj Parikshit getting cursed. So after this we will have the chapter called The Appearance of Sukdev Goswami. So another wonderful chapter is coming up. So let us recite the shloka and proceed with this particular concluding shloka of this chapter. प्रायशः साधवो लोके प्रायशः साधवो लोके परैर्द्वन्द्वेषु योजितः परैर्द्वन्द्वेषु योजिता न व्यथन्ति न हृष्यन्ति न व्यथन्ति न हृष्यन्ति यत् आत्मा गुणाश्रयः यत् आत्मा गुणाश्रयः. Word by word meaning. Prayashah, generally, sadhava, saints, loke, in this world, Pareh, by others, Vandeshu, in duality, Yojita, being engaged, Na, never, Vyathanti, distressed, Na, not, Krishanti, takes pleasure, Yatha, because, Atma, self, Aguna, Ashraya, transcendental. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Generally, the transcendentalist, even though engaged by the others in the dualities of the material world, are not distressed, nor do they take pleasure in worldly things, for they are transcendently engaged. But the transcendentalists are the empiric philosophers, the mystics, and the devotees of the Lord. Empiric philosophers aim at the perfection of merging into being of absolute. Mystics aim at perceiving all-pervading supersoul. And the devotees of the Lord are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the personality of Godhead. Since Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan are different faces of the same transcendence, all these transcendentalists are beyond the three modes of material nature. Material distress and happiness are the products of three modes, and therefore the cause of such distress and happiness have nothing to do with the transcendentalist. The king was a devotee and the rishi was a mystic. Therefore, both of them were unattached to the accidental incident created by the supreme will. The playful child was an instrument in fulfilling the Lord's will. Thus, it's a Bhaktivedanta purport of the first canto, 18th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Maharaj Parikshit Kasbai Brahmana Boy. We recite the prayers of Ajnanat Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kalamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutabhatakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sujivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Anustate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripe Vancha Kalpatarubhischa Kripa Sindhupe Vcha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Uttam karoti vachalam bangam langayate grivyat kabhadamam ante Shri Buddhina karanam paramanandam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So in this chapter we see that Maharaj Parikshit has accepted the curse, without getting disturbed. He has accepted the curse. And like we have heard in the previous lectures and the classes which we have heard from different wonderful devotees, we see that Maharaj Parikshit had all the powers. He was so powerful that even the Kali personified was shivering in front of him when Parikshit Maharaj was ready to kill this Kali Purush. Kali Purush was very much scared and he was begging for the forgiveness. He was begging for for his life. And when he surrendered, that point of time, Parikshit Maharaj, he said, because you have surrendered unto me now, do not fear for your life, but immediately leave this place. And we see that at that point of time, Kali Purush, he was requesting a place for staying. And then Parikshit Maharaj, he offered some places for the Kali Purush to stay, and the places which were offered were somewhat related to the four regulatory principles which we follow, right? So Maharaj Parikshit says that you can stay somewhere where people are eating, people are consuming meat, or you can stay where people are doing gambling. You can stay where there is vyabhichar, there is illicit relationship, and one more option is that he said you can stay where people are in the intoxication, drinking, and are in the intoxication. So Kali, at that point of time, we can understand that Maharaj Parikshit was such a pious king that under his rule there were no such places. So he will request, to grant another place, and then Parikshit Maharaj offered him a place, which is called gold, saying that you can also accept in gold. So gold, I'm not very sure, but devotees are required to be very, very careful about the four regulatory principles, because Kali Purush is staying there, and it is as per the as per the as per the permission given by Parikshit Maharaj. So it is going to be very, very difficult if we're doing something which is impacting the four regulatory principles. We need to be very, very careful with that. And we have seen several examples in the past in the scriptures where, when somebody was not careful about any of these regulatory principles, there was a fall down and there was a very, very, big roundabout somebody had to take in order to come back to the level where they were today. So in this purport, Prabhupada is explaining about the transcendentalist. He explains very clearly that who is a transcendentalist. There are empiric philosophers who aim at perfection of merging into the absolute. So mind you, devotees' goal is not that they want to merge with the absolute, because if they merge with the absolute, then they cannot serve the Supreme Lord. It is a very bad situation, And when somebody gets merged with the Supreme Lord, they will get the company of all the demons which were killed by the Supreme Lord. So nobody would want such company. But yes, it is better than being a karmi. So even those are called transcendentalists, and they are also not affected by the material ups and downs. Then the second point Prabhupada is making is mystics, so who aim at perceiving all pervading super soul, and then Prabhupada is saying devotees. So in other words, there is an example of Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So Bhagwan feature is accepted by the devotees who knows the personal form of the Lord and who would want to serve the Lord, or who want to have a connection or relationship with the Lord. So if you're worshiping the Supreme Lord in the personal form, then we have a connection. So people can, remember Krishna as the loving Father. And if you want to love more, then you can love Krishna. Remember Krishna as the son, as your son, as your child. So we can shower all the love, on Krishna. Similarly, there are different ways we can feel the connection with the Lord. Otherwise, if you're not worshiping in the personal form, then there is no connection. It will be, somewhere you will not feel that touch. You will not feel that connection. So never mind, all these categories are also called transcendentalists, and they are not affected by anything which is happening materially. So material distress and happiness. I remember there's a shloka in Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 2, shloka number 48, where Krishna is telling Arjuna that you perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. So Krishna is saying what is yoga? He's explaining that one should not be affected by so-called material happiness, and in the same manner, one should not be feeling distress because of the difficulties which are faced by the which are faced in the material world. And we have several examples in Srimad Bhagavatam where devotees have remained equipoised in all the situations. We were discussing about Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj had all the powers to counter curse, and he had all the powers to remain alive in this material world. And yesterday I was listening a lecture of Radheshyam Prabhu. So Radheshyam Prabhu was saying that Parikshit did not start requesting the prayers to the Lord, saying that, "My dear Lord, you protected me when I was in the mother's womb, and that time you came and protected me against Brahmastra. So what are you going to do now? Are you going to come and protect me?" So there were no such prayers offered by Parikshit Maharaj. So meaning to say is that Parikshit Maharaj understood, he knew the importance of Kali. Even Kali is very, very powerful and important. So there are a lot of problems in the Kali, but we know that there is one very important thing, which is chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. When we do this, we can get all the perfection. Just imagine, it would have been such difficult if you were born in the previous ages. Even though people say in the Satyuga there were no doors, there were no thieves, but the problem in the Satyuga was that even if you think something wrong, we used to get the sinful reactions of that. If you just think that you want to drink, you're drinking, you just thought and you would have got that. But in the age of Kali, the power of Kali is that, you might think so many things, right? Even though it is very, very bad for a devotee, practicing devotee, to contemplate such things. But never mind, if something comes to your mind, about anything which is related to the four regulative principles, it will not impact until unless a person commits it. But the beauty of Kali Yuga is that if you think something good, you would want to donate so many cows, you would want to offer a lot of bhoga to the Lord, you would want to feed so many Vaishnavas. If you are not in a position to do that, if you're just thinking, you will still get the benefit of all those things. And that is possible only in the age of Kali. Another great, wonderful thing of the Kali is that just by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we get all the perfection. Just imagine how easy it is, to get the perfection, to cleanse your heart. Yesterday we were doing kitchen cleaning, and we were seeing so many vessels, which are greased because of the oil in it, or because of too much of the food which is dried up. It is very difficult to remove. So while we were cleaning, I was just thinking that how much anarthas are there in our heart, and it would take definitely good amount of time. If we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra properly, then eventually it will be clean. But so much of dirt can be there in the heart, and that I was just trying to connect when I was doing this kitchen cleaning yesterday along with so many wonderful devotees. So it takes time, but if we are not doing properly, then it is difficult, then it is impossible. Like, if you don't clean those vessels properly with effort, it is never going to be clean, or it may take lot of time, extra time. And we do not have time. We have everything, we don't have time. And that is the thing. So Maharaj Parikshit knew this very well, that in the age of Kali, these are the wonderful opportunities. So he never prayed that, my dear Lord, protect me. He just did his things to perfect himself by listening Srimad Bhagavatam day and night. And even though he was such a nice, wonderful devotee, he didn't want to take a chance. So he was hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Sukhdev Goswami, and with full focus and attention. And then we see that in the end, he was able to, even Takshaka could not even touch him, and he could peacefully leave his body and get back to the spiritual world. So I would want to give some more examples of these wonderful devotees who accepted lot of who did lot of sacrifice, and who accepted lot of difficulties in the material world, but for the benefit of all the Vaishnavas, for the benefit of common people. So I'm just sharing my screen. Let me know if you are able to see the PowerPoint presentation. Is my screen visible? PPT?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So we see the first example here. I have taken some examples of the Mahajans also. We see here Bali Maharaj. So when Vishnu appeared in the form of Vaman Dev in order to take everything from Bali Maharaj. So Bali Maharaj was a very generous king, and he had never allowed anybody to go away from his kingdom. If somebody comes to him, he will definitely donate. And his guru warned him that he is Vishnu, but still he didn't want to back off from his promise what he made. And he said, if Vishnu is coming to me to get something, Vishnu is the one who gives everybody, but today he's coming to me, and this is my duty to give him whatever he wants. And we see that Bali Maharaj offered his head for the Lord to keep his third feet. And we see that Bali Maharaj accepted this, and he was sent to the Sutala planet, and their Lord became his own, watchman. So we see that, when these difficulties come, a devotee is never scared. If it was an ordinary person, they would have got scared. Arey, Vishnu has come, he's going to take away something. Then though I will definitely say, no, 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 I'm not comfortable. It's okay. And I would have stayed in the same situation. But here Bali Maharaj accepts it gracefully, and then he was awarded, the entire place in the Sutala kingdom, and along with the association of the Supreme Lord. Then we see another example of Narad Maharishi. We have seen Narad Maharishi has been instrumental in starting the devotional life for so many people, not only the normal people, but also the people who were dacoits, who were having no connection with the Lord. We know the example of Valmiki, we know the example of Mragari. Such kind of people also Narad Maharishi has preached. And we see that Narad Maharishi was cursed, but he also gracefully accepted the curse. What he was cursed, he said he was cursed that you cannot stay in one place. You have to be moving, moving, moving. And he turned that into the blessing. And we see the Srila Prabhupada also says that, looks like I am also being cursed, but this curse is a blessing for me, so that I can circumambulate, I can go around the world and praise the glories of the Lord. So see, these can be a curse if we think it as a curse and sit and start crying. But the same thing can be converted into blessings if you understand the real goal of the Lord, if you understand the motive of the Lord. When Prabhupada's pharmacy was burned down, it was, some thieves entered and they destroyed everything. So Prabhupada could have, understood that, okay, I have to restart, or he would have felt dejected, they saying that my business is gone. But he did not do that. He continued with his path, and he says that my Guru Maharaj was always, calling me to take sannyas, and I think this is the arrangement of my Guru, and he happily proceeds forward, and he takes sannyas after that. And then he does wonderful things. As we all know, today we are here because of the mercy and blessings of the senior Vaishnavas and Srila Prabhupada. So this was the example of Narad Maharishi, not affected. Third example, we see the example of Lord Shiva, when the demigods and the demons approached Lord Shiva for the help. So they were doing churning, for their benefit. But when the first item came, it was the halahal, it was the poison. So everybody started thinking now, what is going to happen? And this is what happens in the material world. You do something thinking about a benefit, but sometimes you may not get what you were expecting, and you may get unexpected things. But here you see Lord Shiva again. he goes forward and he takes the the poison, the ocean and ocean, Mahasagar of poison. It is not like a cup of poison or something. And he had such power that he could hold everything in his throat. So Lord Shiva, Vaishnava Yathasambhu. So this is another example, for the common good, for the plan of the Lord. These wonderful Vaishnavas and the devotees, they go ahead and accept everything. Then this example is another very interesting example. Jai Vijay, we all know, we all go to the temple and we see Jai Vijay, standing there. But never ever we realize that the sacrifice Jai Vijay has done. So I was listening a lecture of Gaurangadas Prabhu. He said Jai Vijay Seva was to stand outside the Vaikunta and stop people if they are coming without the permission of the Lord. But Vaikunta is a place where nobody can come without the permission of the Lord. And Jayavaja could have thought, what kind of seva is that? Instead of standing out, I would want to come inside and be with the Lord. But Lord told you have to stand out and do this service. So they were happily doing this service. And that is one thing. But apart from that, when they were cursed, they got the option that, you can take 7 lives and become the devotees of the Lord and come back. But they accepted the option of 3 lives and becoming the enemies of the Lord, fighting with the Lord, giving the pleasure of wrestling to the Lord, getting killed by the Lord, setting the right examples for other people, becoming Ravana, becoming Hiranyakashipu, becoming Shishupal. Just imagine the kind of combination they took. Weird thing. Passing bad words to the Lord as Shishupal and Dantavakra and Kumbhakaran and Ravana and Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh, such powerful demons. No, they accepted this. They never thought, Arey, if I do this role, what will happen to my glories? I'm staying comfortably in Vaikuntha. Let me go to the Bhuloka and perform devotional service. I think we all take the safe option, right? This is safer. But they accepted this just for the pleasure and the common good. Then we see another example. Recently, we have been to Govardhan Parikrama in Vrindavan. So Govardhan, when he was carried by Pulastamani, so when he comes to the place of Vrindavan, he increases his weight. He increases his weight so much that Pulastamani had to keep him down. And another cause was that Pulastamani had to go for the nature call. So when he was placed down, he rejects. He says, I cannot come with you now because you have placed me down. And now I cannot come. So Pulastamani is ready to curse him, but still he accepts the curse of, becoming shorter by the size of a mustard grain. Like the Maharaj was mentioning in Vrindavan, that even though the size of mustard can be smaller for a mountain, but every day, if a mustard size is reduced, just imagine how much it will be lost over a year. So we see Govardhan is losing its form, but still, working and giving pleasure to the devotees who are circumambulating, who are performing production of Govardhan. And so many wonderful leelas also. Govardhan took part when Lord Krishna picked up Govardhan in his smallest finger of the left hand. So there were a lot of lightning, rains, everything coming on Govardhan. But Govardhan says it is like, somebody is, scratching my back. It's that much, not at all paining. But another reason was Lord Krishna's Sudarshan was there on top of, Govardhan, not allowing much difficulties to come to Govardhan. So same example comes here. If we come forward and we try to serve the Lord, the Supreme Lord, comes and serves us. We see this example where Govardhan was trying to protect the devotees, but we see that Krishna was the one who was protecting Govardhan. We see the example of Haridas Thakur getting beaten up in the 22 markets, and where these Jallads were praying Haridas Thakur that now you die, otherwise my king is going to kill us, and I have children. So these demons, these Jallads, they were praying Haridas Thakur to die, and later on Haridas Thakur pretends to die, and he was thrown in the Ganges, and then again he comes out, and again he starts chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So we see that Haridas Thakur was able to bear all the pain, because later on we see that all the pain was taken by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All the the marks of those hunters were seen on the back of Lord Chaitanya. Another very good example. So there is always a competition between the devotee and the Lord. So Lord is always trying to serve the Vaishnavas, serve the devotees, and Lord becomes pleased if you worship a Vaishnava, if you help a Vaishnava, if you feed a Vaishnava, if you care for a Vaishnava, if you don't curse a Vaishnava, if you don't feel bad about a Vaishnava, then Lord is very happy. When somebody does like that, so Lord becomes the protector of such Vaishnava. So there is never a loss. It might feel that these devotees suffered so many losses, but eventually we see that later on they were all benefited. We have so many wonderful examples. I couldn't cover everything because of the shortage of the time. We have wonderful example of Ambarish Maharaj. Like that, we have so many examples of Pandavas, example of Kunti Maharani. All these people, they accepted the difficulties, the so-called difficulties, because when Lord is there, these difficulties doesn't seem to be difficulties. They were very, very happy and blissful. So the question comes now, we have less than 1 minute left. So the question comes now, why are we not able to, do something like this? Even we would want to do something like this. So for this, I had this small PPT which I prepared for my previous class in the temple. So this was somewhat connected. Number one thing is that we have to start getting trained from the beginning, like Prahlad Maharaj. I hope you can see this PPT also. Prahlad instructing his friends. Is this PPT visible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So here we see that it is important that as a human we learn these self-realization topics from the childhood. And we see here, if we become old, then there is no possibility of a spiritual life. We have seen so many old people who are smoking, drinking, and they cannot even think about spiritual life. There was a person, one Prabhu says he was in the park, and one person says, "Why are you wasting time chanting? You should do this in the old age." And that person was old. So this Prabhu said, "Okay, fine. I will not waste my time chanting. You are old now. You chant, and I will enjoy." So the person says, "No, no, no, you only start chanting. It's okay. I can't chant like that." And then this another example of Akbar and Birbal. I hope you would have heard this story. I can't go to this, but yes, where this person was constantly watching the daughter of Akbar, even though he was on his deathbed. So why we are not able to, follow the devotional service? Because we are always having the lusty desires. Lusty desire means except wanting something which is more than required. And when we do this, what happens? If somebody is not able to control his desire to drink, he will suffer liver cirrhosis. People who eat meat, they are going to get the heart disease. People who are smoking, drinking, they are again getting lung diseases and things like that. People who are not following the regulatory principles of no gambling, they end up losing everything, all their wealth. And this is a very, very crucial example. You see that AIDS related cases, people who are following illicit relationships, you see that the number of cases in the 1980s were nominal, whereas compared to year 2000 and 2025 have not taken. Just imagine what is the condition going on in the material world. There are so many deaths because of this. So these regulative principles are very important. They safeguard us. Last two slides quickly. If we are like Ravana, then Lord is going to come and kill us, provided we are as bad as Ravana. But if we are like Vibhishana in the same community, Lord is going to come and protect us. I think I don't have much time now. This one says about the role of a man and woman. So as a devotee, the role of a father is to ensure that his children, his wife, his parents, his relatives, neighbors, everybody is somewhat in touch with Krishna consciousness. Those who can understand here, he can preach them. Those who cannot understand, he can give them prasadam and be good to them so that they come to Krishna consciousness. This is very important, the role of Mataji. If the husband is devotee, that is the condition. Then Mataji can just follow and perfect her life. There is nothing going to be difficult for Matajis because they are going to get 50% from the Prabhu's share if she is sincerely following the husband who is a devotee of the Lord. So the choice is ours. Either we go to Yamraj following no regulative principles, where Yamraj shows us that this is your karma, or we can make this particular life as Vaikuntha without before, even before going to Goloka, we can still make our life following the regulative principles and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So I would end with this. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patit Pavan Guru Maharaj ki jai. If I have committed any mistakes, please forgive me. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask me. Hare Krishna.